Okay, I want to talk about this excavator now that I've used it a little bit more. So we have a couple things. I noticed that I can't keep the arm up. It tends to want to fall over a very short period of time. I literally can watch it start sinking. I know that has something to do with the hydraulics. I got to figure that out, why it's doing that. Um, I really don't like where they put this camera. It's terrible. If you look at it, you can't really get in from this side. It's almost impossible. If they would have put it up higher, that would have made more sense. This switch right here. Oh my goodness. So it locks out your operator controls. But here's the thing. If you forget to push that switch in the off position and you climb out of this thing, it'll jerk you, almost throw you out of it. And that's not a good situation. You know, I know most tractors, and this is what they should have done. I know it's a little bit more complicated to do, and I'm going to have to try to figure out how to do it because I'm afraid I'm going to kill myself or someone else is. I've already done it once or twice. I try to really, really pay attention to it. But they should have had a seat button. When you sit down, it enables these controls. When you sit up, they get locked out. That's the only thing that makes any sense. I just see that as being a major injury problem. Also, for whatever reason, my battery dies pretty quickly. I think it'll go 3 or 4 days and then it's dead. So I did modify it. I put a charger plug, which is sticking out right there, and then I just plug it into, you can see my charger on the wall. That was the last modification I did. I do have the new switch for the fan. I have not installed that yet. It's winter, so I'm not so concerned about it overheating. You saw me in my video. There are some things that... Lemon, stop digging there. In my video, you could see things are real jerky. Driving this thing on pavement is really tough. It wants to, jerk you all over the place. And the forward and backward controls, very, very touchy. And I've also, the other day I did this, I was putting this down and it went down so fast that it flipped me back and that thing started doing this. And it was bouncing, and because it was bouncing, it just kept bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I had to stop it. I had to grab a hold of this and then grab that real quick because the whole thing was just going up and down, up and down, up and down. So that needs probably a stronger spring. It's just way too light. So these are all little things. I don't know how that's spring rated down there. I'll have to figure that out. I mean, some of it is just me. I know it's me not being a long-time operator, but it is super touchy. I'm using half speed on the engine, and this thing, it wants to jerk you all over the place. I never noticed that little sign there. Pay attention to grease up. Yeah, well, I greased everything the other day. So we're fully greased. Some fittings were completely dry. They had no grease in them. The only one that's weird is the track. And I got to figure that one out. I'm going to have to study that because I don't know how you grease the track. Short of getting in there and putting your finger across it. It's a big gear. So anyways, that's what I have to say about the excavator today. I still love it. I think it's awesome. The more I use it, the better off I am. The reason I really bought it was because in the future, my plan is to build a swim pond. And I need to have something. Now this might be too small to dig. I do have a larger bucket. I bought a new bucket. You can see my bigger bucket back there. This bucket's great because usually you're not using it for anything more than just trenching. But yeah, so I want to do the swim pond. and excuse my property. I've been building, and this is fall. I'm trying to put things away. It's just a mess. But over here, and there's Honey Girl. She's a rescue. She's a sweet, sweet dog. She's a little skittish, but she's good. But out here, I'm going to turn this into a fire pit area right out here. And then beyond, that's all going to be a swim pond. We'll walk over there. So I'll post a video about my stream, but I have a little stream here going down into a pond, and it looks terrible right now because I'm tearing it apart. I just got the fish out, and I'm going to redo this pond. You can see how small it is. I'm going to extend it out to the whole distance of that wood right there. So it's going to be 2-3 times bigger than it is right now. And I want to extend it up. It's going to cross this trail. It's going to come up alongside right here. I'm going to build a retaining wall right here. And I'm going to have a swim pond that'll go back. All those trees right there are going to go away. I'm going to remove them. Part of the reason is they're being killed. They're barely alive. In fact, I think that pine tree finally died. Oh, it's still a little alive. But I've got a wisteria up in there that has been choking all those trees for years, and it's contorted them and twisted them, and now they're just a danger. So they're going to be all pulled out. This other plant here, which I don't know what it was really small when I moved in, is giant and taken over. So anyways, again, retaining wall. There's going to be a spillway. It's going to drop off here into the other stream. It's going to go back. I'm going to do a David Pagan style bubble only swim pond, although I will be taking water from the lower pond, just a trickle, not a lot, just enough to keep the stream pretty much like you see right now, traveling through here so that'll act as a skimmer for the pond. I don't have to do as much maintenance, hopefully, on the floor of it, because all the leaves, which all this is going to go here. The only thing I'm keeping now is this apple tree that I'm trying to rehab now. It was buried underneath this giant oak, and it's a beautiful apple. It makes fantastic apples, but it was getting destroyed. So I'm going to cut this back. You can see the small little sprig next to the big main trunk. I'm hoping that I can rehabilitate that. I'm going to see if it produces apple next spring, and if it does, that little piece, then I'm going to cut the main trunk back and clean it up, and that'll be the new apple tree. Back there, I've got a huge orchard. Well, not huge. It's about a 30 tree orchard, mostly apples. I've got pomegranates, persimmons. This is why I bought this property, because I wanted to be somewhat self-sufficient. Now, I've never really been able to do that because I have a full-time job. It was a little easier when I was married with 2 kids, but the kids left. Unfortunately today, kids don't stick around for a farm. They take off. And then my wife left, and so I've been here by myself trying to take care of stuff and live my life, which is not easy. Trying to get back more into the property. But anyways, and then over here, the idea is to put a sauna right there, so you can do like a cold plunge if you want, and then get in the sauna, and then right in the middle of all that, this will all be a retaining wall right here. Excuse the dog poop. And there'll be a fire pit right there, so this will all be a beautiful area. You can see here's my holding tank for the 3 fish I had in the pond. I don't have a lot of fish. One of the things I learned many years ago, I used to be an aquarium enthusiast. I mean, a lot. When I was a kid, I had 12 aquariums in my bedroom. But one of the things that really stuck in my head, and everybody always tells you, is less fish is better, because the bio load gets too big and creates all kinds of problems. My pond's been up and running for 20 years. I've never had a problem. I think the most I ever had in there was 6 or 8 fish. A bunch of them died, not from bio, but something killed them. Something got in my pond and threw them out on the ground. I would come out and find them on the lawn. This is going to be my freshly cut holding area. And again, this is that stand of trees that all has to go away. You could see all the wisteria up in it, which is really beautiful for a very short time of the year, but it's killing all these trees. Kind of go back in there. You can see the wisteria climbing up through. I mean, there are huge, huge pieces of wisteria going up in there. So we're going to cut all that out. So that's my spiel today. I'm going to, I've got a friend coming over. We're going to watch a football game. And so I've got a couple extra things I got to deal with, clean up before we're supposed to get a storm. You can kind of see the storm coming in. But yeah, this is life on 5 acres. I'm a little messy, but I enjoy the heck out of it. I've never been an organizer guy. I've been watching a lady on YouTube who talks about, you know, kind of good enough is fine. I mean, when I look at this structure, I know there's mistakes, but most people would never see them. It needed to just go up. I was running out of time. It was becoming winter. I had a buddy who had time to help me, so we very quickly erected this thing, and it'll be here for 50 years. I'll guarantee it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's like certain things were out of level, and but you know, I could sit here and fuss around with it forever and, you know, make it perfect, but at the end of the day, it's a woodshed, tractor shed. So how perfect does it need to be? As long as it doesn't fall over. And if I don't say so myself, I think it looks pretty damn good. So, but yeah, there's a lot of work here. Like I said, years of not taking care of it. When I got a divorce, I went into play mode instead of property mode. This is a project I haven't taken care of. I need to finish that. I got a boat I gotta freaking winterize. I bought a trailer a couple years ago, mostly because we're in fire country, and if I need to bug out, which I did once, I could bug out with that. My deck needs to be replaced. That's coming up. Lots to do. Maybe you'll see them in the next episode. Thanks for watching.